Good evening, good evening. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Carolina Panthers Talk live stream here on the U to the Two, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. And I'm your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody's been having a good weekend so far. Hope everybody's had a good week in general. It's been kind of a long week, but overall, it's been a pretty good week. It's been a pretty good week. Excuse me. I wanted to get on here for a bit and talk about wide receiver Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel wants out of San Francisco. He wants a trade. He requests a trade. And one of the things that was said is that he would like to be closer to home, which home for him is South Carolina. I believe Eman, South Carolina, if I remember correctly. So the only two teams that I could see as best fit would be the Atlanta Falcons, or hey, why not the Carolina Panthers? What do y'all think about that? Now, I know there's been some talk about what a potential trade package would be for a Deebo Samuel. One idea suggests we give away Robbie Anderson, we give away Brian Burns, and our 6th-round pick, or it's not 6th-round pick, our 6th pick in the first round for Deebo Samuel, and I guess maybe Jimmy Garoppolo with that. Personally, I think the first-round pick should be off the table. I think that should be off the table. San Francisco might want that, but if they want that, Carolina should not give that away. If they give that away, they're not gonna have a first, second, or third round pick. That's stupid. They can't just go wasting away their picks. I mean, I'm not saying that Deebo Samuel's a bad wide receiver or he can't potentially help this team. I think he could definitely help this team, but at the cost of our first round pick? Really? I was thinking about it for a while. The idea originally intrigued me, but then when folks mentioned the first round pick, our 6th pick in the package? No. I mean, if I can pull up some examples, I just really don't think we should include that 6th pick. Why trade away our draft? Especially in the situation that we're in right now? I don't agree with that. Hey, Joe Valesco, welcome to the stream. He says, do we need Deebo Samuel? Do we need him? No. I wouldn't say he's a need. No, I wouldn't say he's a need. We got one example here. We would trade away Sam Darnold, Yetur Gross-Matos, and the 6th pick for Jimmy Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel. No. You take that 6th pick out of there. No way. No freaking way. No. I don't agree with throwing the 6th pick in there. Because if we do that, especially this close to the draft is next week. The draft is next week. So then we wouldn't have a first, second, and a third round pick of this upcoming draft. We can't just trade the draft away. I just can't do that. But yeah, there's a mix of YGM and Robbie Anderson, or Robbie Anderson and Brian Burns in the 6th pick. I mean, Sam Darnold, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't like the idea of bringing in a Jimmy Garoppolo, which I can understand the risk, being that he'll be coming off shoulder surgery and won't be able to start throwing again until August. So that's understandable. Although I still think he's an upgrade over Sam Darnold personally. And we know Robbie Anderson does not want Baker Mayfield, but it's not like he has the final say so. By the way, I'll be enjoying some Thai food during the stream. Ooh, that's good. But do we need Deebo Samuel? I would say no. I wouldn't say he's a need. But then again, a lot of people don't want Robbie Anderson to still be here. So I can understand that. But honestly, though, I just really feel like we would get the short end of the stick in enticing a trade involving the 6th pick. That should be off the table. That should be off the table. Now, if they're thinking something maybe like a 2023 between a 2nd and a 4th round pick, okay, sure, maybe. But 1st round, do y'all really think Deebo Samuel will be worth giving up a 1st round pick for? I don't think so. I understand he's young. I understand that, you know, he's a great receiver, also kind of a hybrid with the rushing, which he wants to be mainly a wide receiver. But I wouldn't say he's worth a 1st round pick. I wouldn't say that. Super Trebo, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hey, sup, Jason? Just got off work. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you. Just here enjoying some Thai food. I'm gonna be honest. I think Carolina needs to stay away from Debo and all that free agency mess and just build in the draft young players. We don't want someone who lefts. And I'm totally fine with that because, as Joel Velasco said, Deebo Samuel's not a need. I don't believe he's a need. In a situation where, like, if Robbie Anderson really wanted out, I could see the idea of replacing him with a Deebo Samuel. Solely that. But other than that, I just, you know, and I do get the luxury of, you know, if he came to Carolina, he would be, you know, close to home. I get that. But at the same time, I could see Atlanta possibly pushing hard for him. They kind of need another receiver. I feel like they would have the advantage personally. But you know something? I still don't even think the 49ers are gonna trade him. I don't think they're gonna trade him. to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to honor a trade. But dude had a heck of a season last year, though. Played in 16 games, started in 15 of them, 77 catches, 1,405 yards, 6 touchdowns. Also rushed for 365 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, I mean, the dude is great. Even threw for a touchdown. But, yeah, the dude is great. But not worth getting rid of our first-round pick for, that's for sure. No freaking way. No way. No freaking way. Joe Valesco says, should the Panthers sign Dwayne Brown? Dwayne Brown, honestly, I don't see him being a long-term option. If they're thinking long-term, no. If they're thinking short-term, sure. But as good as Dwayne Brown may be, he's not a long-term option. He's not a long-term option. Hey, Tito Z, what's good, champ? Can you see Debo in Kansas City? I mean, being that they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, that may be a possibility. That may be a possibility. They could use him. They could use him. They could definitely use him. But I really don't believe that Debo is worth, even in a package with Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything seemed cool until the 6th pick was thrown in. Then I'm just like, oh, heck no. Heck no. So the idea, I thought about it. Like I even talked with Mr. Carolina about this idea, and it seemed intriguing, especially with all the Robbie Anderson talk and shenanigans and stuff like that. But then, you know, when the idea of that 6th pick was mentioned, that instantly was the turnoff for me. So that's my take on that. I mean, in a dream scenario, it would be kind of nice to have a Deebo Samuel, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it being worthwhile. Super Trebo says, in your honest opinion, who do you think Carolina will go for 6 in the draft? Kenny Pickett or offensive lineman? Or do you think they will roll with Sam and draft an O lineman? They need to trade back that 6th pick. I do not expect them to have that 6th pick. They need to trade back. I'm sticking hard by that. They need to trade back. They don't have a 2nd or a 3rd round pick. They need to trade back. And then with whatever pick they do end up getting in the 1st round of trading back, I would like an offensive lineman, just not Trevor Penning. Not Trevor Penning. If somehow we can get a Iquanu, Charles Cross, or Kenyon Green, Tyler Lindenbaum, I'd be happy with. But just no Trevor Penning. No. After watching video on him, No Trevor Penning. That dude got bull rushed by dudes like lighter than him. No Trevor Penning. So that's what I think. But trade back needs to happen. It needs to happen. So that's my take on that. Shout out to at Panthers Culture on Twitter. He actually posed an interesting question. He says, for those who believe Kenny Pickett should be the quarterback Carolina selects due to being pro-ready, I have a question. What other team would Kenny Pickett be a day one starter for besides the Panthers in 2022? Are you just overeager to replace Sam with a rookie who'll play week one? That's actually a fair and valid question. That's actually a fair question. Joe Valesco says Seattle Seahawks. You know what? I mean, it would be quite a competition battle between him and Drew Lock. So, yeah, Joe Valesco, that's a possibility. What about the Steelers? He could, I mean, I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is guaranteed that starting spot. I think there's a fair battle for that starting spot in Pittsburgh. And there's another thing y'all got to think about. Whoever you take, let's say we do take somebody at number 6. Do y'all really want somebody sitting with that number 6 pick? Because when you think about it, I will say for a lot of the folks that do want a Malik Willis, those that want a Malik Willis, but yet have no problem having him sit out for a year or whatnot, if that's the case, why pick him with the 6th pick? You know what I mean? Why pick him with the 6th pick? Or any quarterback with the idea of, having them sit out a year. Why pick them with the 6th pick? I really feel like whoever, like if they do take somebody instead of trade back, like they need to be ready to go. Super Trebo says, interesting question I got, Jason. I've been asking other Panthers and Tar Heels fans, which team do you think will have the better year? The Panthers or the Tar Heels? Honestly, I don't really keep up with the Tar Heels, to be honest with you. Although they did make it to the championship game. So, honestly, probably the Tar Heels. Oh, you're talking football specifically? I have no idea. See, my older brother, he's a Tar Heels fan. So he really would know really where to go with that. But honestly, I don't know. I would probably lean more towards the Tar Heels, though. I guess I would lean more towards the Tar Heels. But yeah, that is an interesting question. But yeah, I'll say the Tar Heels. But it's so difficult because of the fact Matt Rule is on the hot seat. So it is such a weird scenario. Because if you're on the hot seat, you really don't have the time to develop a quarterback. You really don't. And that's why I say for a lot of folks that aren't for trading for a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Baker Mayfield, if it happens, can you really be surprised? Because I'm sorry, like if the coach is on the hot seat, he's looking for a, now, like fix the issues right now sort of thing. And drafting a rookie quarterback isn't a fix the problem now sort of thing. You know what I mean? So that's really something that's going to be taken to consideration. And then we have to also remember, depending on how this draft goes, whatever sort of trades and whatnot could happen after the draft. It could happen after the draft. So there's always that possibility. But yeah, there's a whole lot of different factors. Super Trebo says, yep, I agree. What's sad? You know what's sad? Tar Heels only play 9 to 10 games, and the Panthers play 17, and the Tar Heels had more wins last year. Sad, but not surprising. Sad, but not surprising. Joe Valesco says, rookie quarterback is not going to save Matt Rule's job. Facts. 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 And I just find it, I don't know, I just find it hard to believe that getting like a Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, or whatnot, a Desmond Ridder with that 6th pick or whatnot, doesn't give me the impression that they're going to sit out for a year. It just doesn't give me that impression. So, oh yeah, I was also thinking the Falcons. The Falcons. We mentioned the Steelers. We mentioned the Seahawks. The Falcons. Now, the Falcons could be another one that's in the running for a quarterback. I totally forgot about that. And they have the number 8 pick. Because, I mean, Marcus Mariota, who I'm not saying is a bad quarterback, it's been a while since he started a lot of games. I mean, he started the most of his games back when he was with the Titans. But, I mean, I could see that being good competition, though. I could see that being good competition. Bringing in somebody to compete with Mariota. But it'll be very interesting to see where Deebo Samuel lands. But if you ask me, if San Fran is smart, I don't see them trading him away. Let's actually see Debo's contract. I'm curious to see what his contract is. Yeah, let's take a look at this contract. Deebo Samuel. Let's see what we got here. So, okay, in 2019, signed his rookie deal, 4-year contract, $7,247,476, according to Sport Track or Spot Track. a $3,618,076 signing bonus, and he becomes an unrestricted free agent next year, 2023. Well, I mean, if it was a situation where it was him, it was just him by himself, and we gave up swapped like Robbie Anderson, then maybe perhaps that could work. But honestly, a package deal with both him and Jimmy Garoppolo, because y'all got to remember, Jimmy Garoppolo has quite a big contract. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo has a big contract. 5 years, $137,500,000 with a $7 million signing bonus. Yeah, that's a big old contract. But it's funny how both Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel become unrestricted free agents in 2023. So, yeah, just something to think about. Something to think about. But I think them in a package deal, I don't think Carolina can afford. I just don't think they could afford. So, if it was just Deebo Samuel, sure. Maybe swap wide receivers, sure. But anything that just doesn't involve that 6th pick, because it's really no sense in trading away the rest of our draft. It makes no sense to do that. So this is something that they really, really they need to hit home in this draft. And they cannot hit home unless they trade back. But yeah, let me ask y'all. Do y'all take somebody with that 6th pick, or do you trade back? Let me start off with that. What do y'all think? Trade back or actually take somebody with the 6th pick? I'm not going to specify who, but with that 6th pick, are y'all picking somebody or are y'all trading back? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Joe Valesco says take somebody. Why? Elaborate. Anybody else? But yeah, let me know what y'all think and why. Super Trebo says it's crazy. We signed Cam last year. Now it's like it's forgotten, and the ship has sailed on that now. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the organization claims the door is open, but I don't see. I don't see. I don't see him coming back through that door. Joe Valesco says if we trade for a quarterback, we can take somebody in the 6th pick. There's 2 issues with that, though, Joe Valesco. Number one, remember, the draft is next week. So that means something has to happen between now and when is it? It's Thursday, right? That's next week. And secondly, I got to remind you once again, we don't have a 2nd and a 3rd pick. That's a big gap. We don't have a 2nd and a 3rd pick, bro. So That's something that we have to keep in mind. So that's the two issues that I see with that, Joe Valesco. Something has to happen with trading for a quarterback. That has to happen between now and Thursday. The draft is Thursday. So that's one. And number two, what about the second and third pick? What about I'll throw that in there as well. What about the second and third pick, which we don't have? Like, how do we address those then? We got to look at the whole picture as well. Super Trebo, what do you think? Tito Z, what do you think? Because honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea if we're even going to attempt to trade for a quarterback between now and draft night. Universal Chicklids. Chicklids. Man, I keep messing that up. Says, damn, boy, you hungry? Tearing it up, bro. Yeah, I announced at the beginning I was going to be feasting on some Thai food. And ladies and gentlemen, Universal Chicklids, he is my older brother. He's the one that went with me to the Panthers-Eagles game last year. And by all means, bro, chime in. Contribute. But while I'm at it, let me look at the Tankathon. So now Tankathon has us going Malik Willis with that 6th pick, which, like I said, I don't think we should be using the 6th pick to get somebody. I think we need to trade back. Shoot. Maybe we can negotiate with Philly. Maybe we can negotiate with Philly. They got the 15th and 18th picks in the first round. Try to negotiate with them. Super Trebo says, honestly, don't know what we're going to do. Is there any hope you think we are winning this season? Well, here's the thing, Super Trebo. The season hadn't started yet. We can't go into it negative. As fans, we can't go into these seasons negative. If we're going to go into these seasons negative, why even bother watching? You know what I mean? Why even bother? You're setting yourself up for disappointment before even one game has played. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the draft. Remember 2015 when we went to the Super Bowl? I know I definitely didn't predict us to go to the Super Bowl that year. And I'm willing to bet money less than 30% of Panther fans did not predict Carolina to go to the Super Bowl in 2015. We need to wait and see how it plays out. Regardless of what happens, I mean, I get it. Everybody's entitled to making their predictions. Absolutely. I agree. But as fans, it makes no sense to go into, situations like this and just, you don't want to be too negative, because when the time comes and all the good stuff is happening, then, it's not going to be a good look. I mean, you can't have, I'll say this, you can't have the sort of screw it mentality when things are going bad, but then when things start going good, then, come back and everything's cool now. That's not a good look. Universal Chicklids. You're gonna lose. Oh, from Stillwell Angel from what you call it, A League of Their Own. Universal Chicklets, you do realize that y'all didn't win the Super Bowl last season either. I mean, yeah, y'all might have gotten to the playoffs, but what did y'all walk away with? The exact same thing that we walked away with. Nothing. I'm just saying. Y'all walked away with nothing. We walked away with nothing. What's your point? But y'all, I trust Scott Fitterer. We have Scott Fitterer for a reason. I trust him. Scott Fitterer, who has a Super Bowl, by the way. Let's not forget who has a Super Bowl. Been to two. Been to two. Joe Valesco says the Eagles walk away with a lot of picks. Well, I mean, the Eagles currently have a lot of picks right now, Joe Valesco. They have a lot of picks right now. Let's see. They got 2 in the first round. They got 1 in the second round. They have 2 in the third round. They have 1 in the fourth round. They have 3 in the fifth round. And they have... Okay, so they have none in the sixth round. And they have 1 in the seventh round. So, I mean, they already have a lot of picks just right now. They don't have any picks in the sixth round, but, I mean, they still have a lot of picks right now. So, fact of the matter is we don't have many picks. What we have right now, we have 1 in the first round, none in the second round, none in the third round. We have 1 in the fourth round, so that's 2 picks so far. We got 2 in the fifth round. We got 2 in the fifth round, so that's 4. We got 1 in the sixth round, that's 5. And we got 1 in the seventh round. That's 6. Y'all, we only have 6 total picks right now in this upcoming draft. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. We need to trade back. 6 picks are not enough. They're not enough. Need to trade back. There is no other way. We need to trade back and get more draft capital. How are we going to build with 6 picks? Honestly. 6 ain't enough. How are we going to do that? We can't build up hardly much with just 6 picks. No. Nah, we gotta go in. We gotta make this draft count. Because remember, there was a lot of fans really disappointed with last year's draft. especially the whole idea that we could have gotten a Justin Fields or Mac Jones or whatnot. So, I mean, we got to make this draft count. We got to make this draft count. So there's an article I came across here. Cat Crave, 3 draft day trades for Carolina to land Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, let me take a look at this. See what would come from this. So if we were to, trade offer number 1 would be we would send a 2023 third round pick, 40% of contract. Panthers get Jimmy Garoppolo. So San Fran would take on 40% of the contract, and they'd get a 2023 third round pick, and all Carolina would get is Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's trade offer number 1. Trade offer number 2, Carolina gets Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners get the number 137 overall pick, which would be the 4th round pick. They would get our 4th round pick and a 4th round pick from next year, and they would take on 30% of the contract. And we would just get Jimmy Garoppolo. So if we did that, that means we would have no 2nd, no 3rd, and no 4th round pick this upcoming draft. No. Trade offer number 3 would be Panthers get Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners would get the 149th overall pick, which is one of the picks from round 5. A 5th round pick of next year, and Sam Darnold. You know what? I'd actually be okay with that. Because remember, we have 2 picks in the 5th round. I would kind of actually be okay with that. Now that I think about it, I might actually be okay with that trade offer. I'm not jumping up and down excited about it, but for all the Sam Darnold hating folks that want him out of there ASAP, you would think they would be on board with this. But that 3rd offer, I could probably live with more than the other offers. I could live with that over the other offers. But main thing is, I emphasize once again, got to trade down. Oh, there's even some worst case draft scenarios for the Panthers, according to Cat Crave. Ooh, let's see what this says. The 4 worst case draft scenarios for the Carolina Panthers in 2022. Ooh, let's see this. Worst case scenario number 1. David Tepper becomes too influential. Considering how poorly things have gone for Carolina since David Tepper bought the team, the billionaire would be keeping a watchful eye on how things are transpiring within the war room throughout what promises to be a fascinating weekend. Unless they take it upon themselves to run personnel like Jerry Jones, owners should let the football people make the decisions, which I agree with. But in Tepper's case, he's already thrown his weight around regarding recruitment, as was evident over the last year with his constant pursuit of Deshaun Watson. It's unlikely Tepper has spent hours watching the film on incoming prospects, so the owner becoming too influential in the decision-making process would be ill-advised. Facts. David Tepper has no business with any sort of influence on these draft and personnel decisions. If he's got to throw his weight around to contribute to trying to figure this draft out, that's going to hurt us more than help us. Worst case scenario number two. Worst case scenario number 2, and this is the one that scares me the most, is the top 3 offensive tackles all come off the board by pick number 6. This is a scary one. And it says on Cat Crave, says finding the right quarterback to lead the team after Sam Darnold fluffed his lines in 2021 should be a top priority. But there are some significant questions surrounding this class that could lead the Carolina Panthers to target another problem positional group that's been a constant thorn in their side. Not since the days of Jordan Gross have the Panthers been blessed with consistency at the left tackle position. Facts. Considering it's been 8 seasons since the All-Pro retired, this is something that must change at the earliest possible opportunity. Facts. Fortunately for the Panthers, there are 3 elite prospects who might be available at number 6. Evan Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, and Charles Cross represent instant problem solvers on the blind side, so passing on any of them might not be wise if one or more is on the board. However, there's a chance that all 3 are unavailable by the time Carolina goes on the clock. This would be nothing short of a disaster when one considers the drop-off in the next tier of left tackles. Should this scenario come to fruition, then it might lead to some panic and potentially reaching for a quarterback from a class where no prospect is worth a top 10 selection. The Panthers will be hoping the projected run on edge rushers and potentially even someone like Sauce Gardner is going in the top 5 becomes a reality. Did y'all hear that? There may be some panic if this scenario happens that would lead to reaching for a quarterback from a class where no prospect is worth a top 10 selection. That says something, y'all. If the idea is that no quarterback in this draft is worth a top 10 pick, if we get one, are we reaching? That's something to think about. But anyway, let's move on. Worst case scenario number 3. Ooh. Actually, now that I'm looking at this one's even more scarier than the one I mentioned before. Worst case scenario number 3, Carolina Panthers get no trade down interest. Yikes. So it says, with no second or third round selections following trades for Sam Darnold and CJ Henderson, it would be a surprise if the Carolina Panthers did not explore the possibility of trading down from the number 6 overall. See what I mean? It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Scott Fitterer's wheeling and dealing during his first draft as a general manager in 2021 only strengthens this belief. Although much will obviously depend on which players are available at number 6 overall when the time comes. Although this represents the best option to many, it might not be that clear cut, something that could leave Carolina facing the prospect of giving up future assets in pursuit of day two capital this time around. As stated previously, this is not the best group of quarterbacks that's ever entered the league. Facts. Teams will be reluctant to trade up and land a promising signal caller if it's not a sure thing, which is bad news for the Panthers if they are intent on going down this route. Fitterer will have already worked the phones to get the lay of the land. It also has to be the right offer for the Panthers with so much on the line in 2022. It's unlikely that Carolina is going to wait until 137 overall for their next pick in the draft, which is round 4. I need to remind everybody, 137, that's round 4. Getting no trade interest for the number 6 selection would be a blow, but not a complete catastrophe by any stretch of the imagination. Honestly, I beg to differ. I think it would be a start of a catastrophe, personally. I think it would be the start of a catastrophe. But that's just me. That's just me. I think it would be the start of a catastrophe. And then, worst case scenario number 4. The Carolina Panthers don't land a new quarterback. Ooh, this ought to be interesting. Let's read. Says there is an enormous amount of pressure on the Carolina Panthers to come out of the 2022 NFL Draft weekend with a new quarterback. Sam Darnold's time under center following his trade from the Jets was a complete failure, and although he's likely to still be around thanks to his $18.85 million fully guarantee, finding a better alternative has to be acquired by the organization at the earliest possible opportunity. Whether this comes by gambling on the number 6 overall is unclear. The Panthers could swing for the fences with Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis with a trade down for someone like a Matt Corral and Sam Howell, not out of the question either. If the Panthers decide to draft a left tackle with their first rounder, then it might see those in power begin to explore trade possibilities for a veteran such as Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield. This is another gamble, but one that represents a quicker fix for a team that has a big-time urgency to progress. This dynamic has the potential to make or break Carolina's chances in 2022. If they find the right guy with an improved offensive line, then it could see things progress dramatically in year 3 for Matt Rule. Whoo, man. What y'all think about that? Those scenarios. I mean, I get the last 2, but it's really going to say a lot what we end up doing between now and the end of the draft. It's going to really say a lot of things, y'all. It's going to say a lot of things. But it's definitely a sticky situation. But they are able, if they're capable of making the right kind of moves with the scenario that's placed in front of them, then that'll really be a big, big start to the fixing of this team. But we shall see. We shall see. Super Trebo says, do you think Carolina will finally beat Brady and the Bucks at least once? No. Do I think it's going to happen this year? No. But one of the games might be close. One of the games might be close. Both games might not be blowouts. I think one of them will be close. But do I see us winning both games? No. Do I see us winning either of those two games? No. Y'all got to remember, Bucks, even with no AB and even with no Gronk, potentially no Gronk, the Bucks are still a dangerous team in the NFC South. Not to be underestimated. Not to mention, they're a way more complete team than us. A way more complete team. We ain't ready to hang with the Bucks. Maybe 2023, perhaps. But we're not ready to hang with the Bucks. We're not ready. The only teams I could see us possibly sweeping, Atlanta and New Orleans, which that's going to be hard in itself. Because remember, we split with both teams last season. So, I mean, if it's anything that's asking, is Carolina ready to win the division? Nope. Nope. Especially not this upcoming season. Which is why I don't think Matt Rule will be here afterwards. Because like I said, only way I see his job being saved is if Carolina makes the playoffs. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? No. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be watching, Lord willing, I'll be watching every game. But I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. But no, Super Trebo, do I think they will beat Brady and the Bucks at least once? Not this upcoming season. Nope. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Man, this is really good. I'm going to have to go back to this place again. That was really good. So, but yeah, going back to what I was said about Deebo Samuel, just to catch everybody up. Do I believe Deebo Samuel we should go after him? I thought about it at first. The idea was sort of intriguing, but when there was a lot of people talking about putting up the 6th pick, our first round 6th pick, nah, definitely not worth it. Even in a package deal with Jimmy Garoppolo, not worth it. Because also at the same time, Jimmy Garoppolo's contract, it's a big contract. That $137 million, it's a big contract. Shoot. Say what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo, but that's a big contract. That's a big old contract. But yeah, like, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. But, man, it's right around the corner. Oh, Super Trebo says I'm eating cheese pizza. Pizza Hut. It's good. Also was hungry. Right on. That's good. You ever hear rumors that us Panther fans and Panthers organization is not relevant and Rock Hill, South Carolina not agreeing? Embarrassing. I mean, it is pretty embarrassing, how everything fell through, involving the deal with David Tepper being a, super duper billionaire. I think that's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing. Not only that, but it makes me honestly question, does David Tepper really want to win? Does he really want to win a championship? You know what? That's my next question. What do y'all think? Do y'all honestly believe David Tepper really wants to win a championship with the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, North Carolina? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Because personally, I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares. I mean, okay, he did a little something with the Hall of Honor. That was cool. That was cool. But I honestly don't think he cares about winning a championship. I don't. What are examples of evidence? He vouched for he vouched for Matt Rule. He wants Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett's a Pittsburgh guy. I mean, think about it. Evidence is there. I honestly don't think he cares about winning. I don't think he cares about winning. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he cares about winning. And then another thing we got to think about, after the whole Damian Wilson situation, linebacker, that's another thing we got to think about. That's another thing. So, oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think it's very necessary that we trade back. Super Trebo says, I've had this happen to me several times, Jason. Have you ever been made fun of or laughed at for being a Panthers fan? I have a lot. You know what? I got to be honest with you. I've been made fun of by two people specifically. Two people. As a in general, no. But two people, one being my brother, and the other being a former coworker. He's a Steelers fan, but with my former coworker, we would kind of go back and forth, and there was really nothing I could really say to fire back at him. He's a Steelers fan. What, the Steelers have 6, 7 championships? So there's no bashing a Steelers fan. They got rings to back it up. And the only reason my brother will poke fun is, okay, so he has they got their one championship a couple of years ago, so you know how it is. Folks are gonna continue to rub stuff in other people's faces regardless of how long ago it was. I get it. But do I do I get laughed at, made fun of, like on the regular, like as a whole? Not really. Not really. It's kind of weird, but not really. Shoot, if anything, I see Browns fans get made fun of more. Lions fans, shoot. I used to know a Lions fan. And whew, man, she got it really, really hard. But I don't think we're the worst of the bunch, though, Super Trebo. I really don't. I mean, we've never had a winless season. I mean, we had the 1-15 season, but we've never had a winless season. The Browns have had a winless season. The Lions have had a winless season. I mean, we've never stooped to that low. We've come close, but we've never stooped to that low. You know? But I can't say that that's happened to me many times. You know? I mean, at the end of the day, there are going to come some times where those big franchise teams, they're going to eventually suffer a downfall. And Carolina, I do believe Carolina will have their time. We just got to be patient. We got to be patient and stay with it. Joe Valesco says in the 4th round, the Panthers should draft JoJo Bowman. Who's JoJo Bowman? Who's that? JoJo Bowman. Let me look that up. I don't even know who that is. JoJo Bowman. Let's see. Oh, are you talking about JoJo Domine. Oh, JoJo Domine. Middle linebacker. Out of, let's see, Nebraska. JoJo Domine. 24 years old, 6'1", 230 pounds. Second team All Big Ten and second team All American last year. $208 total tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Oh, he played linebacker and safety. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. It's kind of an interesting name, JoJo Domine. That is quite an interesting name. Okay, they got his stats here. What did he do last season? 71 tackles, 44 of them were solo. 3 passes deflected, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. Dang. Okay. Did a little something. But then again, they have him listed at safety. They have him listed at safety right now. So, like, did he play safety last season, Joe Valesco? I'm just curious because said he played linebacker and safety. Like, Super Trebo says, sorry I said that. I know sounded negative, Jason. It just gets kind of lonely being Panthers fan here in Georgia. I get so excited the few times I see fellow Panther fans. Oh, dude, always get excited when you see fellow Panther fans. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You should get it. You should get excited when you see fellow Panther fans. You should totally do that. How about this, Super Trebo? How you feel is the same way of how I feel about Virtua Fighter. I mean, I'm here in North Carolina. I can't even find hardly two people here in North Carolina that'll play Virtua Fighter. So I get it. I totally get it. Joe Velasco says not sure. But yeah, just there's plenty of reasons, to stay excited. Because like I said, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So it's one thing to always remember. On any given day, team that normally will be on the losing side ends up winning the big ones. It happens, especially in college sports. Oh man, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. So yeah, that's the only thing with that. But nah, Super Trebo, definitely get excited when you see fellow Panther fans. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. So you got to do it. But yeah, who is ready for the NFL draft? Now, are you ready because you're looking forward to it, or are you ready because you're ready for them to just get it over with? But yeah, let's see where the draft is going to be next week. It will be at the Caesars Forum Paradise in Nevada, April 28th through the 30th. Joe Velasco says he's excited. I'm ready for a player. Oh, okay. You ready for a player? I see you. And we know for sure the Jacksonville Jaguars, once again, for the second year in a row, will have the first round pick. And right now, there's 262 total selections in 7 rounds. The Dolphins have the fewest. They only have 4. The 2 teams that have the most selections are the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Both have 12. Wow. Super Trebo says, I'm also excited because my vacation from work starts Thursday off all the way till Sunday. I'll be on vacation and get to see the draft. Ooh. That sounds like quite a vacation. Indeed. You got quite a bit of goodness to look forward to there. I can dig it. But yeah, let's see. So once again, it looks like this is going to be another draft done remotely. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? They actually have a location. I forgot. Caesar's Forum Paradise in Las Vegas, Nevada. So yeah, and like I said, I plan on doing a live stream, reaction stream with Mr. Carolina for the first round. For the first round. And we'll probably go through in a separate video the rest of the picks. The rest of the draft picks post draft. Post draft. So got quite a bit to look forward to. But if anything, I just hope we really get things together. And actually, while we're on it, y'all start throwing me your scenarios. What would you like to see the Panthers do? You want to see a trade back? And let me know 3 players. Let me know if you want to see a trade back or not, and let me know 3 players you would consider Carolina to shoot after. Joe Valesco says, "Give me number 5." Who's number 5? Yeah, who? Oh, that's right. Kayvon Thibodeau. That's your pick. Joe Valesco wants Kayvon Thibodeau. Paul Mancini, thank you for coming through. Good to see you. Welcome. Says, I stay away from Debo as the cost is too much between draft picks and players, plus the $25 million a season that he's looking for. Oh, that was his ask was 25. Wait, he's asking for 25 mil? Hold up. Really? Because his contract now is only for 7 mil, and he wants 25 million? Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. No. No way. No way. How the heck you gonna ask for 25 million? He only getting paid 7. What? No. No way. I would not give him that. But I do agree with the costing too much with the draft picks, because there's a lot of suggestion that the 6th pick would be included, and that's a big no for me. That's a big no. Khalil Wesley, welcome to the stream. We can trade Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson for Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel. But what about Jimmy G's contract, though? What about his contract? That 137 mil. That's the only thing, though, Khalil Wesley, that Jimmy G contract. That's a big old contract. I mean, if it was Robbie Anderson and Deebo Samuel, just those 2, then I would consider it. But you package in Jimmy G and Debo, that's because, remember, we would need for San Fran to still take on some of that contract, because that's a big contract. Super Trebo says, I just want to see them be fun again and score points, play good D, and at least make a playoff run and potential for championship in the future. If the Panthers win Super Bowl one day, the stadium would stay packed. Agreed. Paul Mancini says he wants a new contract now, which is why he wants out of San Fran, as they can't afford it. It's been reported that he's looking in the 24 to 28 million range, just below Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill's new deal. Do you think he's worthy of that, of a $24 to $28 million? I don't know. You think he's worth that much? You think he's worth that much? Let me see something. Let me go back to Jimmy G's contract. Okay, so this year his base salary is about 25 million. So let me see. Jimmy G is in the final year of his contract, which pays him $27 million for 2022. So $27 million. And then let me go back to Debo. Right now, this year is about $4 million. So about $4 million for Debo this year. And then package that with Jimmy G's 27. Ooh. I don't really know if Carolina could afford that trade without the other team having to account for the contract. And even with Sam Darnold as well, because remember, there's still that $18 million. Oh man. That's really what it comes down to, is the logistics behind the salaries. Paul says absolutely not. I don't believe any wide receiver is worth that type of money. Well, I think even right now, Devontae Adams the most expensive wide receiver. I think right now, him going to the Raiders. But one thing's for sure, keep that 6th pick out of that deal. I've been seeing so many talk about throwing that 6th pick in there. No. And it's like I said before, Deebo Samuel's not really a need. He's a luxury when you think about it. Paul Mancini says, my proposed trade is Panthers trading wide receiver Robbie Anderson and their 2023 third rounder for Baker Mayfield, with the Browns paying $8 to $10 million of Baker Mayfield's $18.8 million contract for 2022. Mr. Mancini. Okay. And after all, we could always pick up another wide receiver late in the draft. I'd be kind of cool for that idea. I could be down with that scenario, that trade package, Paul. Why not? Khalil Wesley says, did you watch ESPN? This man told Carolina to trade all your draft picks to the Niners. Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel on the trade package. This must be crazy if that happens. Scott Fitterer will be fired. I think wasn't it Dan Orlovsky that said that, Khalil Wesley, if I remember correctly. Wasn't it like Dan Orlovsky or somebody like that? Yeah. If I highly doubt they'll do that, but that would be crazy. That would be so crazy if they did that. Can't trade away the draft. Can't trade away the draft. Super Tribo says, just wondering, Jason, do you have a lot of Panthers hats or do you have Panthers tag for your car? I've had different ones through the years for my car. LOL. Can't make up my mind. I've had blue tags, silver, all kinds of tags. So I'm not really a hat person. I do have a Panthers toboggan, but I'm not really a hat person. I'm more of a shirt, hoodie, pants. I'm not really a hat person. Just like I'm also not really a watch person either. Um, as far as car decorations, no, not really. I'm a simple kind of guy, really, with my fandom, with certain things. But Panther shirts. I got a Panther toboggan. Some stickers here and there. I keep it simple. I keep it simple. Paul Mancini says Mayfield is in his final year, so if it doesn't work out, then Panthers move on, just like with Sam Darnold. Fair enough. What's up, Jeff R? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Joe Valesco says, have you seen the new the Panthers new drop hat? Actually, I haven't. Is it good? Is it nice? Is it cool? Paul Mancini says, my favorite trade scenario is the Panthers trading back from the 6 to the Eagles for the 18th, 51st, 124th, plus left tackle Andre Dillard. Then at number 18th, Panthers can either draft a quarterback, Pickett, Corral, or Willis. Something tells me 1 to 2 of those quarterbacks probably won't be there at 18. I would be surprised if 2 of those are there, but I'd be shocked if 2 of them were there. Jeff R says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is this Debo and Jimmy G trade? Maybe a 3. Maybe a 3. I'll say a 3. I mean, there's always a possibility, but I'd say a 3. Joe Valesco says it's nice. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. I have to check that out indeed. Paul says this way they have a starting left tackle in Dillard, draft quarterback at 18 where the value matches the quarterback, and then gain a 2nd round and a 4th round. Here's the thing. How do we know that this quarterback will end up starting or will have a chance to start? So one of the points that I made earlier was, let me go back to the question that I saw on Twitter. Shout out to Panthers Culture, at Panthers Culture on Twitter. I don't know if y'all follow that Twitter account. I do, but check them out. His question was, for those who believe Kenny Pickett should be the quarterback Carolina selects due to being pro-ready, I have a question. What other team would Kenny Pickett be a day 1 starter for besides the Panthers? Are you just over-eager to replace Sam with a rookie who'll play week 1? That's a fair question. That's a fair question. How many fans out there are really more just eager to replace Sam Darnold, get him out of there? So therefore it's like, well, what quarterback's pro ready? Word is Kenny Pickett. I mean, what do y'all think about that? Okay. Paul says on a scale of 1 to 10, he says a 1. So he says the most least likely. I believe Cora will be there at number 18. I could see him being there at number 18 for sure. Panthers still need a quarterback behind Sam Darnold in case of injury or poor play, which is fair. I don't believe any of these top 3 quarterbacks are ready to start week 1 in the NFL. Oh, so not just them, but like pretty much any quarterback in this draft. You don't believe though their week 1 starter potential. Pretty much. And I'm pretty open to offensive line, just no Trevor Penning. No Trevor Penning. He bombed badly. From watching his tape, he bombed badly. I used to consider Trevor Penning. Kaleo Wesley says, if we get Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel, we can be an unstoppable dual threat offense. We will win a playoff. We'll be a playoff Super Bowl contender. Really? Just adding those 2 alone? Here's the thing. We don't know how Jimmy G's arm is going to be until August. He won't be able to throw until August. That's pretty close to the season. That's pretty close. He's not going to really have a lot of time to get that arm ready, you know? Especially if he's not going to be able to throw until August. It's a risk. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Jimmy G can't be a positive factor. I mean, the dude has a record of 36-16 as a starting quarterback in the NFL. But a lot of that is dependent on his health and who he's surrounded with. That's really what that comes down to. But right now, the big question for him is his health. You know, he's going to be coming off this shoulder surgery. I mean, when Jimmy G plays, I mean, he's been able to do some stuff, but his health has been a big, big issue. His health has been a big issue. Paul says, yes, Pickett is most ready, but I still believe he will need time and would be a mistake to have him out there week 1. Coral can play later in the season if Donald falters, and Willis won't play in 2022. And Paul makes a good point. Missing all OTA, summer camp, football duties cannot be underestimated for a quarterback going to a new team, system, and teammates. That's another big disadvantage as well, especially if Jimmy G is not scheduled to be able to throw until August. I mean, shoot. In the first preseason game in like mid-August or something like that. I mean, you don't want him to not play in a preseason game. You know what I mean? You don't want him to not play in a preseason game. I mean, shoot. The first preseason game last year was August 15th. So I'm in agreement with Paul on that. That's a lot of very, very precious time missed. A lot of precious time missed. Like I said, I'm not saying that Jimmy G can't be good. I'm not saying he can't be good. I think he showed that he can do a little something on that field when he plays and he's healthy. I do agree. But because he's going to be missing so much time rehabbing his shoulder, it's a disadvantage. It's a big risk. And Paul makes another good point. That's why I say Baker Mayfield is the best option to come in ASAP after a trade to learn the system, players, coaches, and etc. And Baker Mayfield's dealt with a little bit of injury stuff, but he would be a lot more ready when the time comes than Jimmy G would be. Because definitely between now and August, Baker Mayfield will be able to, work out and throw and all that sort of stuff. Super Trebo says, I have an honest question. Do you think one day it's possible for the Panthers can win the Super Bowl? Or do you think the NFL is all rigged for the bigger market teams to win and not smaller market teams? I think it's definitely possible they'll win a Super Bowl. I mean, they had 2 tries. I think third time may be the charm. I mean, you got to remember, we only lost that first Super Bowl appearance by a field goal. And really what helped that is, I mean, I love John Casey, but he kicked the ball out of bounds on the kickoff. So that really, because you got to remember, we came back and tied the game. And that's that first Super Bowl appearance. We only lost by a field goal. So, I mean, and then the second trip, I mean, Mike Remmers was the weak point. O-line did a bad job. Von Miller had his way with Cam Newton. And you got to remember, our defense, Carolina defense, still played well because Peyton Manning didn't play good. I don't care what anybody says. Peyton Manning did not play well in that Super Bowl. In Super Bowl 50, he did not play well. That Denver defense helped. So I think third time will be the charm. I really do. And that won't be the last time we see Carolina in a Super Bowl. I have faith. Paul Mancini says, I would not be surprised to see Jimmy G will remain in San Fran for his final year of his contract. Plus, who knows how Trey Lance will be as a starter. That's a good point. Cincinnati is a smaller market. Is a smaller market team. Green Bay, Tampa Bay are not huge markets, which is fair, which is definitely fair. Khalil Wesley says, Pickett could be better than Darnold. He will shine in Carolina. He will take us to new heights. Oh, hold up, Khalil Wesley. You just said Pickett could be better. You just said he could be better. There's still some uncertainty. Do I sense uncertainty there? Because we got to remember, the word is that none of these quarterbacks in the draft are top 10 pick worthy. Now, could he be better? Sure. Could he be better now? Is potentially, I guess, the big question. Because a lot are pointing on getting a quarterback would be a reach in this upcoming draft. So, something to think about there. Paul Mancini says, Von Miller was a one-man wrecking ball in the 2015 Super Bowl. Panthers had no answer. Well, yeah, now that I think about it, yeah. Von Miller definitely had his way with Carolina. But like I said, Offensive line broke down, especially that left side with Mike Remmers. But yet, a lot of folks want to get on Cam because he didn't jump on a fumble. Well, he got stripped. They would have prevented him getting stripped, then it wouldn't have come to that situation. Max, welcome to the stream. Charles Cross or trade back with the 6th pick. Nothing else would be worth it. Wait. So now you said Charles Cross or trade back. So you would be comfortable if Carolina used the 6th pick on Charles Cross, knowing that we have no 2nd or 3rd round pick? You would be okay with that? Really? Paul says, back to my trade scenario with the Eagles. At 18, Panthers could get a top defensive tackle or linebacker, and then select quarterback Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, or Carson Strong with that 52nd pick they got in the trade down with the Eagles. Wait, so you wouldn't consider a left tackle? Or do you think they will be, or do you think the main ones will be gone by 18? What about Kenyon Green or Tyler Linderbaum with that 18 pick? You wouldn't go Linderbaum or Green? But yeah, I will agree that Baker Mayfield over Jimmy G. I would, if it came down to those two. Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me, Paul. You said we would get Dillard in that trade, in your trade down scenario. Thank you for reminding me. Sorry about that. Thank you for reminding me. You did mention that. Okay. I feel you. So in that case, so you said a DT or linebacker. So I would think maybe let me think. So are you suggesting maybe like a Devin Lloyd or a Jordan Davis? So 2022 offensive line would be Dillard, Christensen, Bozeman, Corbett, and Moten. That would be solid. That would be solid. Or who knows, Paul, maybe Christensen and Deontay Brown, maybe they can battle it out for that left guard position. I say let them battle it out for that left guard position. Paul says defensive tackle AJ Davis. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. AJ Davis. P. Winfrey, V. Jones, or linebacker Devin. Oh yeah, Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean would be good. Either of those two would be good. Indeed. Yeah, either of those two would be good. I can be on board with that. I can definitely be on board with that. So let me ask y'all this. With those first 5 picks, Jaguars, Lions, Texans, Jets, Giants. Oh, okay, Paul, you were talking about the same Jordan Davis. Oh, okay, gotcha. So those first 5 picks, where could you see those first 5 picks going? The Jaguars, Lions, Texans, Jets, Giants. Where could y'all see them going? Yeah, first 5 players. I think the Jags will probably get either Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. I could see the Jaguars getting either one of those 2 edge rushers. The Lions, you know what? It would not surprise me if the Lions gamble and take a quarterback to compete with Jared Goff. The Texans, I could definitely see them going offensive line. So probably a Evan Neal, a Charles Cross, or Ika Mkwanu. I could see the Texans definitely going linemen. The Jets, I feel, have a little bit more variety to choose from. I think the Jets could go offensive line or D line. And then again, the Jets have the 4th pick and the 10th pick. So they got some variety. And then the Giants, they could totally, the Giants have the 5th and the 7th pick. So the Giants could probably take a pick and then trade back their other pick. I could see the Giants. Now the Giants, I could see them going either offensive line, or they might consider quarterback as well if they're not planning on rolling with Daniel Jones in the long term. Super Trebo says, I always wonder what the name of our next superstar quarterback will be and what will his personality and skill be like. Whew. He could have a name that's hard to spell and hard to pronounce, but as long as he can get the job done, I'll be happy. Max says, so he's thinking the Jags will get Hutchinson. He's thinking the Lions will get Trayvon Walker. Thinks the Texans may get Sauce Gardner. Ooh, interesting. Okay. He thinks the Jets go Evan Neal and the Giants go Ika Mkwanu. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Paul says top 5 be Evan Neal, Aiden Hutchinson, Mkwanu, Trayvon Walker, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Not sure in what order, but at 6, Cross, Hamilton, Sauce, and the quarterbacks will all be there. Okay. Khalil Wesley says, are these mock drafts true or false? I mean, some of the picks end up being true and others end up being false. Typically, the first 3 or 4 picks, typically folks are on the money about, but generally, once it gets deeper, it's kind of random. It's kind of random. Next Panthers good quarterback will be Grayson Mccall, drafted in 2023 at number 5. Grayson Mccall. Who is that? Grayson Mccall. I know Grayson Waller. Grayson Mccall plays for Coastal Carolina as a quarterback, sophomore, 6'3", 200 pounds, from Indian Trail, North Carolina, 21 years old. It's the Cure Bowl MVP, 2-time Sun Belt Player of the Year, Sun Belt Freshman of the Year, 2-time First Team All Sun Belt. Wow. Whoa. Holy crap. Dang, look at this guy's stats. Year 2020. was 172 of 250, 68.8 completion percentage, 2,488 yards, 26 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Also rushed for 569 yards and 7 touchdowns. Ooh, dang. And then last year, he was 176 of 241, a 73 completion percentage, 2,873 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And set a FBS record in rating with a 207.6 rating. Also ran for 287 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yikes. Dang. Well, that's impressive, but you know what a lot of fans are going to say. You know what a lot of fans are going to say. But he played at Coastal Carolina. I mean, yeah, and I don't know. It just annoys me when people do that. Because it's like, regardless of where you play at, you play your best. And if you get scouted and you get noticed and you get drafted, then you must have did something in order to get drafted and such. I'm not saying that's always going to translate into the NFL, but it's like folks need to stop basing the school so much. If they're putting up good stats and helping their team win, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Regardless of what school you're playing for, ain't that what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to play your best. Shoot. I hate when people do that. I really do. But he played at NCCU and Coastal Carolina and Grambling. Like, okay. Just because they played there, does that mean that they're not a good player? Like, because they played at that school? Like, come on now. Paul says the kid is accurate and has a nice NFL arm with mobility. Needs to get stronger and should be 6'3", 220 by his second year. Okay, so he starting out, he was a redshirt freshman. Oh, okay, interesting. He was a redshirt freshman. Okay. What time does the NFL draft start? I would imagine probably 7 or 8. As a matter of fact, let's find out. Oh, here we go. The draft starts 8 p.m. Starts at 8 p.m. And then on round 1 will be 8 p.m. on Thursday. Rounds 2 through 3 will be Friday, 7 p.m. And then the rest of the rounds will be Saturday, starting at noon. So Thursday. Oh, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Thursday. 8 p.m. According to ESPN, 8 p.m. Max says, did Stephon Gilmore get an offer from the Panthers, or did he want to go to a team looking to win? Word is that he did get an offer, but wanted more money, which is why he ended up looking elsewhere, and now he landed with the Colts. But word is he wanted more money. That's another good point as well, Paul. Josh Allen played at Wyoming. He's done pretty well for himself in the Bills. Oh, definitely. And he should continuously be in the MVP discussions as well. Yeah, Josh Allen's definitely, like I said, don't be surprised if 1 year the Bills end up making it to the Super Bowl under Josh Allen. I think it's bound to happen. Teams get 10 minutes each pick in the first round, so expect a 5 hours event. Oh, yeah. It's usually going to go until like midnight and, past that. Yeah. I expect it to go until like, midnight. Khalil Wesley says, Tepper still wants Pickett. We trade down out the 6th pick. We can still get him. It'll definitely be interesting to see how far down Pickett would fall. Like how far down would he actually fall? That's an interesting question. Max says, would you give up Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin, and the next 4 first-round picks for Josh Allen? Heck no. Heck no. For one player? Heck no. No way. No way. Mm-mm. Heck no. Yeah, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I mean, because you got to remember, we lost Hassan Reddick, and then give up Brian Burns, our other successful edge rusher, who made the Pro Bowl, by the way, and Jeremy Chin, who should have been defensive rookie of the year his first year, and Jeremy Chin with what he brings to the team, that's another big loss. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing we got to keep in mind. With that type of trade scenario, we have to keep something in mind. Y'all have to remember, yes, last season they said we had the number 2 defense. It's funny. They say we had the number 2 defense last season, yet still won the same amount of games that we did the season before with Teddy Bridgewater. I'm just saying. Us being a top 5 defense, us finishing the second best defense or whatnot, and yet we only won 5 games, that it makes me really question if we really had a number 2 ranked defense. I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. I'll just keep it real with y'all. I really question that. Because, think about it. None of us are going around bragging that we had the number 2 defense. Because if we really had the number 2 defense, we would not just only have 5 wins. Let's just keep it real. Especially when that's the same amount of wins we had the season before that. And the season before that, we definitely didn't have a top 10 defense, if I remember correctly. Paul says, and Paul's right. You can't blow up an entire team for one player. It makes no sense. Facts. Max says, true. But on the bright side, I think the offense actually got better on the O-line this offseason, and the defense should stay consistent. Well, here's the thing. Did the offense get better on the O-line? On paper, yes. On paper, yes. But here's a couple of things that you got to factor in with the offense. Number one, will Christian McCaffrey be healthy, and can he actually make it through the season? Number two, even with the improved O-line, do we end up seeing the same from Sam Darnold, or will he actually make better decisions? Two things to keep in mind with that offense. Defense. The defense should stay consistent. Here's the thing. We have to remember that, one, we were pretty low in turnovers. We did not have a lot of turnovers. Definitely didn't have a lot of interceptions. And our run defense was trash. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Paul says, tells you how bad the Panthers offense was, and the terrible job by the offense coordinator, Joe Brady, who was overmatched and outcoached his 2 seasons. Yep. Max says, Sam Darnold week 18 was actually pretty good. Well, I mean, week 18, one, by that time we were out of the playoffs. I mean, to be fair, the Washington game, Cam Newton played excellent, and we still lost. I mean, no offense, but Sam Darnold only threw for 9 touchdowns last season. 9. Didn't even hit double digits in touchdowns. Yeah, Sam Darnold ain't it. As a matter of fact, 2 back-to-back seasons in a row, Sam Darnold is only threw for 9 touchdowns. That's not good. And our wide receivers are suffering from it. Look at DJ Moore. DJ Moore is great, but what's the big issue with DJ Moore? His touchdown numbers are low. Which is why it's really, really hard to say that DJ Moore is elite. He can get you the yardage. He can get you the catches. But the touchdowns, where are the touchdowns? You know? And with Sam Darnold's play, you know, it's affected that. It even was affected even when we had Teddy Bridgewater. And Teddy Bridgewater definitely threw for more touchdowns than Sam Darnold. So, I mean, I don't know. Which presents the question, can y'all really see Sam Darnold, even with this beefed up O-line, can you see Sam Darnold be a success finally in his career? Because honestly, the closest that he's come was 2019. That was his best year statistically. Paul says the new coaching staff will be the biggest difference with the Panthers on both sides of the ball in 2022 to at least be competitive. I can agree with that. Panthers were one of the worst red zone offenses and red zone defenses, which is where games are usually won and lost in the NFL. Facts. Yeah, red zone, we were Max said, would you take Baker tomorrow if he was available for a second-round pick? That's impossible. We don't have a second-round pick. That's the only problem. We don't have a second-round pick. A future second, then yeah, sure, why not? A future second, sure, why not? I would entertain that. I would entertain that. Because at the end of the day, you know, and I know a lot of folks don't like Baker Mayfield, which I know he has some attitude problems. But as far as the better quarterback between him and Sam Darnold, there's no question that it's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has won a playoff game. Sam Darnold's never even tasted the playoffs. Only other thing with Baker Mayfield, once again, is his health. You know, he's listed as questionable with a shoulder. But I think he's in a much better position than Jimmy G. Super Treybo says, hey, Jason, you think we need to run the ball more, become lower offense with building offensive line? Carolina's always been a run offense in good days. Yes, I think we need to definitely run the ball because there were so many cases where we stopped running the ball and totally gave up on that. We can't do that. We can't do that because we've had some success in the running game, but there have been too many scenarios where we've completely given up on it, and we can't do that. Are you more frustrated with Matt Rule or David Tepper? Matt Rule. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, David Tepper is the owner. But as far as disappointment, Matt Rule. Overall disappointment, Matt Rule. Because I don't think he is a passionate coach. Ron Rivera is a passionate coach. I don't think Matt Rule is. I don't think he is. And that's why I admire coaches like a Pete Carroll, like a Sean McVay. You know, they're passionate. You know what I mean? Shoot, a Jim Caldwell who should have never been let go from Detroit. You know, I want a passionate coach that's going to light a fire into this team. I want a coach that talks and puts talking to action. That's the kind of coach I want. That has a good resume built off of that. Paul says, back to my trade scenario, and the Panthers would have that second round pick to Baker Mayfield. They would end up with Dillard from the Eagles, draft a good defensive tackle and linebacker at 18, and then trade the 51st pick for Mayfield. Ooh. That's right, because after all, you can also trade after the draft as well. So no, that's an intriguing point, Paul. That's an intriguing point. Matt Rule was given too much authority and responsibilities in his first NFL head coaching job. Facts. Way too much. Matt Rule is too passionate on the sidelines during the games and needs to chill out and let his coaches coach. That's another thing, too, which I'm hoping with the staff that has been brought in, the veteran staff that's been brought in, he will let them do what they got to do. Watch during the games. No assistant coaches or players are writhing 10 yards of rule. I mean, yeah. Facts. And it's one of the things I miss about Ron Rivera. And not to mention, maybe it's just me, but having like the coordinators up in the booths, I'd rather have the coordinators on the sidelines with the coaches and the players. Having them in the booths, I don't like that. I want to be around my players. That's where I would want the coordinators. And not only that, I'm going to be paying a lot of attention this upcoming season to Sam Darnold, with the understanding of him most likely being the starter. Sam Darnold talked so much boasting and stuff in that podcast he did. Sam, it's time to put up or shut up. It's time to really start growing up and seeing if you can even possibly revive your career as an NFL quarterback. Still a young guy, but I mean, like I said, we've given enough grace being that, the teams that he's played on. But with this offense potentially being a big improvement, especially on the O-line, Sam Darnold's not going to have much for excuses anymore. He's going to have to bring it. And 9 touchdowns in a season ain't going to do it. It ain't going to do it. It's not going to do it. Paul says special teams are a point of emphasis this year, which I know doesn't excite many, but is very important, and good special teams play change momentum and bring energy to a team. Oh, facts. All three have to be accounted for. Offense, defense, special teams, all three definitely need to be accounted for in a team sport, which football is a team sport. So I agree. I definitely agree. Also, the schedule will be released on May 12th for 2022. May 12th will be the release of the schedule. So that's a couple of weeks. I think 2 weeks after the draft. So 2 weeks after the draft. Because that's also on a Thursday. This 2022 season is it for Sam Darnold. If he doesn't take a big step forward, he'll be a career backup journeyman from here on out. Facts. I mean, it's really do or die for Sam Darnold. Like, he's got to get it done. And I think the only thing that can happen is Carolina make the playoffs. They make the playoffs. Sam Darnold, potentially comeback player, would be nice. But if they make the playoffs, Matt Rule keeps his job. I think that's fair. Paul said, Paul, you think the opening game will be against the Steelers? Oh, geez. That would be crazy if that was our opening game. Ooh. Having to deal with Mike Tomlin that first game, that's scary. That's scary. I don't even remember the last time we beat the Steelers in a regular season game. As a matter of fact, so the last time the Panthers beat the Steelers. Oh, wait, that's preseason. Hold up. Oh, opening game versus the Steelers at home. I mean, even still, that'd be really, really tough. Wow. The Panthers are 1-6 all time against the Steelers. And the last time we have beaten the Steelers in a regular season game is December 22nd of 96. Can y'all believe that? That is the last time that we have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers in a regular season game. December 22nd of 1996. Not to mention, look at these scores. We have lost to the Steelers. Let's see. 30-20, 30-14, 37-3, 27-3, 37-19, 52-21. Yeah, Steelers are our kryptonite. The Steelers are one of our kryptonite teams. Let's just keep it real. Not to mention, Carolina has never beaten the Steelers in the Steel City. In terrible towel land, the Panthers have never defeated the Steelers in a regular season game in Pittsburgh. Wow. And I have a friend of mine that I used to work with that's a hardcore Steelers fan. And that's something that he can always throw in my face. That's something we need to fix. We need to fix that. We've never beaten Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We need to fix that. Paul says, or could be the Browns with Baker Mayfield as the Panthers starting quarterback for added drama. That could happen. That could definitely happen. It would be best to get the Steelers early as they transition to a new quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky. Their offense will be a work in progress early in 2022. So play them as they are. Yeah, that could work. Super Trebo says, "Yep, Steelers are our kryptonite, like we are Arizona's." Well, we've had Arizona's number. You're saying like we are Arizona. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because we've had Arizona's number for a while. Paul says Cam Newton was never the same after that Steelers beatdown on that Thursday night. Panthers haven't been the same either. Oh yeah, when he took that devastating hit that jacked him up. Because if I remember correctly, we were what, 6-2, and Cam was putting up MVP candidate numbers, had his highest completion percentage. I won't ever forget, because that game, the first drive, we ran all over them with Christian McCaffrey for the opening score. I remember that. Carolina ran all over them that first score. And then that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. But dang, we've only beaten the Steelers once in a regular season all time. Wow. Wow. That scares me. But we do have the Steelers at home. It is a home game. So, whew. That was, man. Paul says Panthers were 6-2. Yep. Big Thursday night game, and Cam got pounded and injured his shoulder and was never the same as a passer. Yeah, that was the big hit. It was also the game where dang on Dante Jackson got torched. He got torched. But looking at these games, so at home, of course, we have, Atlanta, the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks at home as usual. We got the Cardinals at home. Like I said, we typically have the Cardinals number. We got San Fran at home. It'll be interesting to see what happens with San Fran. Although the last time we played San Fran, they destroyed us. I think McCaffrey was the only player that had a decent game. And then, like I said, the Steelers, that's going to be tough, just given our history. The Browns, that means we got to deal with Deshaun Watson. Although Carolina has beaten the Texans with Deshaun Watson before, so I'm the Lions and the Broncos. Super Trebo says, yep, I also remember that back cold 2018 fall night. We had just come off a good win against the Ravens. Then it all went downhill from there. Facts. Panthers have Steelers and Browns at home and play the Bengals and Ravens on the road. Chances are their opener will be against the NFC North. And that's the thing. We got to play the entire NFC North and we have to play the entire AFC North and the entire NFC West, as well as the entire NFC South twice. Looking at these home games, I could definitely see us splitting with the Saints and the Falcons. I still think we'll split with the Saints and the Falcons. Bucks, that's going to be hard. Cardinals, like I said, we've had the Cardinals number for a while. The Niners, it depends. It depends on what happens with the Niners. Steelers, I don't see us beating the Steelers, but, they're going through some changes as well, getting ready for the post-Ben Roethlisberger era. And then, of course, we got the Browns, which Paul says Deshaun Watson will likely serve a 4 to 6 week suspension. So play them early, tops, with oh yeah, that's right. They do have Jacoby Brissett. Indeed. And then the Lions, I'm not too concerned with the Lions. And the Broncos, well, the Broncos did beat us last time, so and of course, remember the Broncos have Russell Westbrook, so dang. Out of those 9 home games, I could see us winning 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, out of those home games, we should be able to win between 4 and 5 of them. Hopefully. Paul says Seahawks have had the Panthers number 2. But Seahawks without Russell Wilson will be a rebuild for them in 2022. I'm not sure the Panthers have ever beaten Russell Westbrook. Oh yeah, they have twice. Don't forget one of those wins was in the playoffs. One of those wins was in the playoffs. And remember the time we beat Seattle in Seattle? Cam Newton had the touchdown throw to had the touchdown throw. Or actually, did Russell play that game? Did Russell Wilson play that game? But I know the game where Luke Kuechly picked him off for the pick six. Yeah, we won that game. Yeah. Yeah, we've beaten Russell Wilson at least twice. At least twice. That I do know for sure. Yeah, the touchdown to Greg Olsen. Yeah, didn't Russell Wilson play in that game? He might not have played in that game. But I know one of the games that we did beat Russell Wilson in was a playoff game. For sure, was a playoff game. Oh, never mind. Actually, Russell Wilson did play that game. That's right. Russell Wilson played in that game. So yeah, that's at least twice. So 2 or 3 times we've beaten Russell Wilson. Because I forgot, Cam threw 2 picks in that game. That was why it was so close. Cam threw 2 picks in that game. And also, but yeah, as far as like a season, like an overall career like history, I would say the Seahawks definitely have more wins than the Panthers. I would definitely say that. But yeah, we've beaten Russell Wilson at least twice. At least twice. And as a matter of fact, I'm trying to look up the other game that we won. There should be another one. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. But yeah, at least twice. But back to the schedule. Oh, you pulled it up, Paul. Seahawks are 10-4 all time versus the Panthers. Lost 3 meetings against them, but did beat them in the 2015 regular season, and then again that postseason on the way to the Super Bowl. Correct. Yeah, because that Super Bowl playoff game, Luke had a pick 6. Because I think we were annihilating them in the first half, and then they started to make a comeback in the second half. That's what happened. because that was the game we played before the NFC Championship, and then we mollywopped the Cardinals. But yeah, out of those home games, I could see us possibly winning 4 to 5 games. It could happen, 4 to 5 games. Just if everything goes well and everybody does like they're supposed to. Now, let's see. Looking at the away games, Atlanta, so the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks, as usual. The Rams, the Super Bowl winning Rams, the Seahawks, who, as Paul said, have our number. The Ravens, I don't even remember the last time we beat the Ravens. The Bengals, who also played in last year's Super Bowl. And the Giants, who, even though the Giants look weak, remember the Giants beat us last season. So even that away schedule looks tough. That away schedule looks really tough. Ikaim Hannon, hey, good to see you. Welcome. I think we should do Debo and Jimmy G in a trade package, including our 6th-round pick. No. We can't trade away our 6th-round pick. No. Or wait, 6th-round pick. 6th-round pick. Oh, I thought you meant 6th pick in the 1st round. I'm sorry. The thing is, the contract, the Jimmy G contract, is still kind of heavy. That's the only thing with that. That's the only thing with that. But nah, I'm sorry. I thought you meant 6th pick in the 1st round. I'm sorry. I was about to say. Paul says beat them 27-23 in the regular season. Yep. And then 31-24 in that playoff game. Yep. For the away games, beat the Falcons, Seahawks, Giants are possible if Panthers play well. See, my thing. Wait, the number 6 overall pick? No, we can't get that up. We get that up, then we have no 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round pick. If he's talking about the 6th overall pick, no, we can't include that in the package. No way. No. Because remember, we don't have a 2nd and a 3rd round pick, and then you want to give away the 1st round pick? No. No. I don't think that's a good idea. The only thing with the Seahawks coaching, and although the quarterback situation, yes, still kind of interesting. But Seahawks could be possible. I mean, we have beaten the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle before, so I mean it's not impossible. But I mean, yeah. So Seahawks, Falcons. Oh, so Paul, you're picking us to sweep the Falcons this upcoming season? You think we'll sweep them? Remind me again, where did Bobby Wagner sign? Bobby Wagner signed somewhere. Wait, Bobby Wagner, didn't he sign with the Rams? He signed with the Rams, didn't he? I think he signed with the Rams because Von Miller left. Thank you, Joe Valesco. Thank you. I was like, wait a minute. He did sign with the Rams. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Seahawks lost Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. That is a good point. That is a good point. Ekaim Hannon said, I was saying the 6th overall pick. I think it's worth a try. No, dude. That means we don't have a 1st, 2nd, and a 3rd round pick. We don't pick until the 4th round. That's not smart. That's not smart. Especially being both Jimmy G and Debo. No. Because remember, Debo is a luxury. Debo's a luxury. But we're not going to have a pick until the 4th round. That's not smart. That's not smart. Von Miller signed with the Bills. Yes. Correct. I'm okay. I'm okay with the trade, but not including that 6th pick. No way. We can't trade away our draft. That's not smart. We have too many needs. We still have too many needs. Which I never saw coming from Von Miller. The Bills are stacked. Dude. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. And probably will finally win one. It's only a matter of time. Bills are dangerous. And they're getting more and more dangerous every year. So out of those away games, sweeping the Falcons, yeah. If there was a team out of those 3 that I could see us sweeping, yeah, the Falcons will probably be the one. The Saints might probably win on the road. And the Bucks, like I said, I really don't see us beating the Bucks. They're still a very much complete team. The Rams, I definitely don't see them beating the Rams. No freaking way. Seattle, perhaps. The Ravens, probably not. The Bengals, probably not. And the Giants, the only thing with the Giants is are iffy because remember, they beat us last season and we only scored 3 points against the Giants. That says something. That says something. We only scored 3 points against the Giants last season. They beat us 25-3 last season. Keep that in mind. So typically, I think just looking at this, we could, if everybody does like they're supposed to do, we could potentially win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 9 games. And that would be a big, big improvement. But it better include the playoffs, because if not, bye-bye Matt Rule. Paul said one interesting note from defense coordinator Phil Snow's press conference. He stressed 2 times that they need a safety, which surprised me. They have Chin, signed free agent Xavier Woods, and Justin Burris back. Are the Panthers thinking of trading Jeremy Chin for draft capital, then draft at Hamilton? They better not. I would not trade him. I would not trade him. Jeremy Chin, I wouldn't trade him personally. But I guess I'm under the impression that maybe he's not sold on Justin Burris being a starting safety and Jeremy Chin probably performing a lot better at that nickel or linebacker position. May be what he's stressing, but yeah, that's an interesting situation there. I guess I'm just under the impression that maybe he's not keen on Jeremy Chin at safety, but more at nickel. But that's all I can really think of. You may know more, but that's all I can think of. Super Trebo says, now that you mentioned that, Jason, just thought about it for years. Tom Brady owned the Bulls in that division. And now, or the Bills in that division. Now, look, the Bills turned it around. So when Brady leaves NFC South, maybe the Panthers can also. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, Super Trebo. You know why? Because even if Tom Brady wouldn't have come back, I mean, they still have, remember, they did draft a Kyle Trask. Not only that, they still have a pretty solid, complete team. So until the Carolina Panthers can get out of that 5-win slump, they are not ready to be deemed competitor or deemed owner of the NFC South. They're not there yet. And when you think about it, now that I think about it, hold up. When was the last time we even swept Tampa Bay? We haven't swept Tampa Bay since 2017. That's the last time we swept Tampa Bay. And then we also have to remember the last time we won a game against Tampa Bay was 2019. So that says something. And remember, this was before Mr. Brady. This was before Mr. Brady. So just something to keep in mind. We haven't swept the Bucks since 2017, which, by the way, was the last time the Carolina Panthers went to the playoffs. Paul says, I wouldn't either. They paid Xavier Woods on a 3 years, $30 million deal. So he's starting, and Burris will be the third safety, I believe. I don't believe Matt has to make the playoffs in 2022, but I do believe they need to win 8 to 9 games and be competitive in their losses, not like the end of the season where Panthers got beat badly. I'm gonna have to disagree. I think we do need to make the playoffs for Matt Rule to keep his job, because it'll be another year in the books. And remember, we haven't been to the playoffs since 2017. So 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. So 5 years. If we do bad and we don't make the playoffs in 2022, that's 5 years. That's 5 years straight. Yeah, if I were in charge, I would be like, Matt Rule, this is your last shot. It's playoffs or bust. If I were in charge. If there's improvement with these new coaching hires, then there will be back for 2023. Hard to get an entire staff once again. I mean, I get that. But I mean, getting under 10 wins, I mean, 9 wins, 4-game improvement. I just and like I said, I know a lot of people are saying it's third year, third time's the charm, but I just I just think it all comes down to a what have you done for me lately, and I take it as since 2017. What have you done for me lately? And if it don't scream playoffs, then it's another. It just seems like another lost cause. With their schedule this year versus NFC West and AFC North, Panthers can be a better team, but still short on wins. And don't forget, we saw that 2 seasons ago. I mean, when you think about it, 2 seasons ago, a lot of the games we lost were only by a touchdown or less. So I mean, but yet still only won the same. Because when you think about it, the Panthers played worse last season compared to the season before. But at the end of the day, both seasons were 5-win seasons. You know, that says something. That says something. I mean, that's the one thing that just sticks out the most for me. You know what I mean? The only way they can win 10 plus games is with good quarterback play. I can agree with that. I can totally agree with that. Can Darnold do this? Can Mayfield do this? I mean, to be fair, Mayfield's played in the playoffs. Sam Darnold hasn't. Baker Mayfield's won a playoff game. Sam Darnold hasn't gotten there, so I would take my chances more on Baker Mayfield than on Sam Darnold personally. On the bright side, the NFC is wide open after the Rams, Packers, and the Bucks. Well, I mean, is it though? Is it though? I don't know. I don't know. It is the NFC wide open? I guess I'm trying to think about it. I mean, well, I think it's going to depend on a lot of things. It's going to depend on a lot of things. At least for a wild card berth. A 9-8 record probably makes it in for 2022. Very possible. Very possible. Oh, snap. Check this out. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have restructured Tom Brady's contract to free up $9 million in cap space. Uh-oh. What they trying to do? Well, at least with that, it would give them plenty of money to at least sign their draft picks. But yeah, they restructured Tom Brady's contract to free up $9 million. Oh, will you look at that? Okay. What else do they got going on? Oh, so there's going to be 3 games played on Christmas. Interesting. And apparently, Earl Thomas is looking to make a comeback this season. He says he's ready. I'm in shape. My timing is on point, and I'm proud of it. Earl Thomas, who turns 33 in May, hasn't played since being released by the Ravens in 2020 after he decked teammate Chuck Clark during the training camp. Would y'all be willing to give Earl Thomas a shot at safety? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, not saying that he can't bounce back from that, but not to mention the last contract he had, it was a $55 million contract, $32 million guaranteed. Ugh. I don't know about that. Paul says rebuilding teams in the NFC with new coaches, quarterbacks, or Giants. Oh, with new coaches and quarterbacks. Giants, the Commanders, the Vikings, the Falcons, Panthers, Bears, Seahawks, and right now the 49ers / Cardinals / Cowboys have a lot of drama going on. Wait, what kind of drama do the Cowboys have going on? What are the Cowboys got going on? I'm actually curious. Earl Thomas is a head case and about 33 years old. Yes, he's 33. Or he will be turning 33 in May. So it's coming up. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But you know what? Might want to start thinking about what a potential starting lineup would be. Looking at this. Hey, Sir NAB 50. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. How you doing? Welcome. Cowboys lost popular teammates Cooper. Oh yeah, that's right. They did lose Amari Cooper. Randy Gregory, cornerback. Joseph arrested in a murder case last week. So plenty of drama in the Big D this offseason. Oh wow. I don't know how the heck I missed that. Yikes. Dang, why can't folks stay out of trouble? I don't get it. Folks don't know how to stay out of trouble. It's ridiculous. But you know what? I'm thinking about a lineup. Sir Henab, okay, you would trade for Debo? Okay. Do you have a trade package in mind? What would you have in mind to get Debo? Because you have to wonder, is Debo a need or is he a luxury? Another threat, another player that would make the quarterback better. Oh, he's definitely a threat. He's definitely a threat. But with what we have, is he a need or a luxury? But then again, it depends on what the trade scenario would be. So I've been hearing a lot of different scenarios about that, but when it started throwing in the 6th pick, that's when I was like, yeah. That's my take on that, Sir Henab. Super Trebo says, just wondering, Jason, is there a reason you're not into college as much? Like UNC basketball or football? You think NFL more exciting than NCAA? I mean, I don't know what it is, but like if somebody was like, Jason, I got an extra ticket to a college football or college basketball game, would you like to go? Yeah, of course I'd go. Are you kidding me? Of course I'd go. But just, I mean, there's not, number one, there's not a team I follow in college. You know, there's not a team that I follow. I mean, even being here in North Carolina, I mean UNC, I mean, just the campus is nice. You know, the campus is nice. I've been on the campus so many times. Been to Duke campus so many times. But I mean, it's hard for me to really like willingly keep up with because there's not a certain team that I follow. And you know, there's a lot of teams. I mean, UNC, NCCU. You know, my dad played at NCCU. I've been to a Duke game. I've been to a NCCU game. I've been to an NC State game. I've actually never been to a UNC game, funny as that is. But yeah, just you know, I like the pros. I like the pros. I like the pros. Um, Paul says, look at the Falcons offense. Quarterback Mariota with no quality wide receivers on their roster. No Julio, no Ridley, and no Gage. They are very thin at wide receiver. That is correct. The only wide receiver that I know that they have is Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus. And then the other is tight end, which is Kyle Pitts. That's really, you know. So that very good point about the Falcons. The thing about Debo is that the Panthers have CMC to do many of the same skills production. Debo is not a good fit for the Panthers at all, in my opinion, as long as CMC is a Panthers. Well, now if we were to swap out Robbie Anderson, that could still work. After all, Debo does want to be a pure wide receiver. That could still work though. Like if we were trading like Robbie Anderson and got Deebo Samuel, that could still work. That could still work. I will say that. Now, a trade for straight up for CMC for Debo, I would consider. That I don't know. Nah, that I don't know. That I don't know. That's a little hard for me to go for. Joe Velasco says your dad played college football. He did. Was a running back for NCCU long time ago. But yeah, he was a running back, and he's also done a little bit of assistant coaching a number of years ago when I was still young. But yes, Joe Velasco. Chef 85, welcome. Good to see you. Jimmy G is nothing more than Sam Darnold with a solid coaching staff that knows how to effectively utilize his skill set. What? Nothing more than a Sam Darnold hasn't even sniffed the playoffs, though. He's never even sniffed the playoffs, though. Like, I really don't understand this comparison of Jimmy G being another Sam Darnold. I don't understand that. Like, the dude has a 36-16 overall record as a starting quarterback. Sam Darnold doesn't even have half of that. I mean, skill set, could be argued or whatnot, but I mean, you gotta look at the logistics of things. I mean, because I think this season is going to really prove a lot of things about Sam Darnold. But so Chef, are you saying that if that's the case, are you saying if you were to swap positions between Jimmy G and Sam Darnold would have had the same success at San Francisco and with the Patriots? Are you sure about that? Because we got to remember, there wasn't a whole lot of great talk about Sam Darnold at USC. So, not to mention, I mean, Jimmy G was 6-0 in his first starts as an NFL quarterback. I do agree and understand the risk, being that Jimmy G will be coming off of shoulder surgery and can't throw until August, so he'd be missing a lot of OTAs and stuff where he could, get his arm back together. Because I mean, August, that's when preseason starts. So I do understand the risk in that, but I really don't get the comparison between Sam Darnold and Jimmy G. It's like almost night and day. I mean, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. Paul says Falcons have Pitts and Cordell Patterson, and that's about it. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Matt Rule will mismanage him as bad as Darnold. Personally, I do not like either. Which is fair. I mean, Matt Rule definitely not a fan favorite. Oh no, you're good, Paul. You're good. Who knows how Jimmy G's throwing arm will be after his surgery on his right shoulder, which we've seen quarterbacks with throwing worn shoulder surgeries really struggle to regain their form accuracy. Yeah, that's a fair point. A loss of strength, zip, and accuracy is expected for an older quarterback who never had a strong arm to begin with, in my opinion. No Jimmy G. Sam Darnold does not have a jawline like Jimmy G. Wow. Wow. And that is true. He is much more older than Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold is what, 24? Yeah, Sam Darnold's 24, 25? 24. So I mean, yeah, still young. But Chef said we pulled the trigger on the Darnold trade, and now it's time to pay the piper. Sad but true. And that's really what it may come down to. We just have to suffer the consequences to the fullest. No Mayfield, no Jimmy G, etc. You cannot change quarterbacks and offensive coordinators yearly and expect success. Well, let me ask you this, Chef 85. Just honest question. Do you believe, just in your sole prediction, do you believe with the new coaching staff, with the beefed up O-line, do you believe Sam Darnold will have a comeback year this upcoming season? Just let's say he's the starting quarterback for sure. Does Sam Darnold have a comeback season? Just in your honest prediction. Paul says the Panthers will be a run-first offense and rely on play action for big plays down the field, which means whoever plays quarterback for the Panthers in 2022 will need a strong arm. Who has the stronger arm? Oh, yeah, especially if we're going to be going deep or hitting, going for 20-plus yard passes. Because despite the Robbie Anderson drops, Robbie Anderson is still a deep threat. Darnold, Jimmy G, or Baker Mayfield, or a rookie quarterback from the draft. It's probably Darnold's arm in terms of arm strength. Okay. Chef 85. Okay. He says, hell no. Darnold is damaged goods. I was referring more to getting rid of Teddy to replace Cam after we cut Cam. Then cut Teddy and get Sam, and then Cam returns and now back to Sam. Okay. So you definitely agree that he's damaged goods. Darnold is damaged goods. Okay. So we can agree on that. But here's the thing. If we say that he's damaged goods and there's an opportunity right then and there to replace him, like, I guess my question for you is why no sense of urgency to replace him if he's damaged goods? If you truly believe that there's no way that he'll bounce back even with the improved coaching staff, even with the improved offensive line, that he'll bounce back. Plus, also the fact that potentially Matt Rule is on the hot seat and could be gone if he doesn't fix things. Why not address that now? You know what I mean? That's my question for you. If Sam Darnold is indeed damaged goods, and even with what stacked roster that they build up to week one won't be enough. Paul says, not to change gears, but has there been any word on wide receiver Shi Smith? He and linebacker Wilson, who was recently arrested, may both be released after the draft. So, with good question. So with Wilson, he's out on bail. The word is he's out on bail. He's out of jail on a $5,000 bond. For Shi, I have no idea. because I think Shi Smith has a felony. I think his is a felony. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure about Shi Smith. But I think the word is that his court date is during OTAs. So not sure how much time he'll miss because of OTAs, because that's when his court hearing is. So Shi Smith is going to miss quite a bit. It's going to miss quite a bit. Super Tribo says, do you watch Charlotte Hornets, Jason? I love my UNC Tar Heels basketball and college basketball, but I just can't get into the NBA. It's not as exciting. No, I am a Dallas Mavericks fan, and they lost today, and I was so mad about it because Dwight Powell missed 2 back-to-back crucial free throws. Dallas should be up 3-1 over the Jazz right now, and Dwight Powell choked so badly, missing 2 back-to-back free throws. And therefore, they lost to the Jazz 100-99. I was so mad about that, especially with Doncic returning. I was so mad about that. Dallas should be up 3-1. So, yeah, I was mad about that. But, yeah, Super Trebo, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. Paul Mancini says, if Shi Smith is a goner, then wide receiver could become a position of need in the draft. Terrace Marshall is still unproven. Rashard Wiggins and Brandon Zylstra are more like 5th wide receivers. I'll get into that in a second. Hold on a second. Chef 85, just getting off of work, brother. God bless you and keep up the channel. Got to go. All right, God bless you too, Chef 85. Thanks for stopping by and chatting it up. Good to see you. Hope you rest well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Back to what you were saying, Paul. Well, it's going to be interesting because, and that's why I was thinking maybe in the draft or some sort, the Panthers might try to scoop up another wide receiver to compete with. So something tells me probably they're going to let go of Shi Smith. I just have that feeling. I have that feeling. And I'm hoping that Terrace Marshall will be healthy so that we can get him going, because we need to get him going. And Zylstra's played in the offense quite a bit, and he has made some great plays. So we might see more of Zylstra than usual. We might see more of Zylstra. That could happen. The Hornets fired their coach today, I believe. Oh, dang. Ouch. So according to the depth chart on ESPN, they actually have Rashard Higgins listed as wide receiver number 3. They actually have Rashard Higgins listed as wide receiver number 3. That's interesting. So I think there's going to be a lot of competition at wide receiver for that number 3 spot. Because like I said, Zylstra has been able to make plays in the offense. And like I said, Terrace Marshall Jr. is going to depend on his health. Maybe he can make, when he has made a few flashes. He has made a few flashes. So maybe if Terrace Marshall can be healthy, if he can bounce back and be healthy and actually play a lot more this season, Terrace Marshall could make some noise. And they got Tommy Tremble as the starting tight end, by the way. Just throw that out there. I like Zylstra and hope he's utilized more, but Terrace Marshall is an important piece of this offense if he develops as we all hoped he would. I sure hope he does. I mean, we used the second-round pick on him. Shoot, he better turn out great. We used the second-round pick for him. So I'm hoping. And it's such a bummer, too, because I really like Shi Smith. I really do. Especially in that Bucks game. He made that big play. Man, I was like, yay, Shi. But he might not be on the team. But hopefully, you know what? It'll be very interesting to see what we might do for competition at that wide receiver spot. Oh man. But yeah, Sam Darnold is a starter, Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Foreman, but I expect them to really rotate those running backs. Paul says Ian Thomas will be the starter due to his blocking with Tremble on the field often in their 12 personnel packages that they will be in often on early downs as they establish the run. If what I'm thinking is what is accurate with Ben McAdoo, I expect a lot of usage from the tight ends, both Thomas and Tremble. I just wonder if Ian Thomas is going to serve any sort of suspension. He might serve a few game suspension as well. But I expect to see the tight ends utilized a lot more. I mean, shoot. Cam Newton was successful with the usage of the tight end. But I expect the running back position to be shuffled around quite a bit. I expect to see some. Honestly, I think we really need to see a 1-2-3 combination of McCaffrey, Hubbard, and Deontay Foreman. I think we need to see a 1-2-3 combo. I mean, why not? Why not? Super Trebo says, do you have any faith or good faith in Ben McAdoo, Jason? I heard our new offensive coordinator was a good coordinator. Yeah, I got. I heard our new offensive line coordinator, coach was good. I mean, yeah, I have faith in him mainly because he has experience as an offensive coordinator, something that Joe Brady didn't have. So yes, I'm very confident and I have good faith that he'll do well at offensive coordinator. The position that was questionable was when he was head coach. But Ben McAdoo has experience at offensive coordinator, which Joe Brady didn't. So, yes, I feel good about this. Panthers may have to change their uniforms into orange with these players getting arrested. Dude, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, there's three right there. Ian Thomas, Shi Smith, Damian Wilson. Like, It's bad. It's really bad, especially now in a society where innocent until proven guilty ain't a thing anymore. It's not. It's not a thing anymore. So, yeah. But so what they have right now at offensive line on the ESPN depth chart, Cam Irving at left tackle, that's about to change. I can tell y'all that right now. That's going to change. That better change. Pat Elflein at left guard, Bradley Bozeman at center, Austin Corbett at right guard, Taylor Moton at right tackle. So we still have Dennis Daly, Michael Jordan on the team, Deontay Brown. They actually got Deontay Brown on the right side back up. So I wonder if Deontay Brown can play left guard. I think that would help if he can play some left guard. I wonder if he can play left guard as well. Paul Mancini says, I love all the new hires from offense coordinator Ben McAdoo to offensive lineman James Campen. Oh, yeah, that was a big, big boost for us. Chris Tabor for a special teams coach, along with defensive line coach Pasqualoni and Wicks returning. Yeah, we made some good changes there to the coaching staff for sure. Steve Wilks, we brought Steve Wilks is back. So hey, I thought Steve Wilks did great. As long as Steve Wilks ain't a head coach, put Steve Wilks on that defense, we're gonna get some good results. But yeah, I mean, what I expect of the offense, receivers definitely got to step up. DJ Moore, he's going to do his thing. Robbie Anderson, I hope, will bounce back. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see who steps up into that slot wide receiver role, that third wide receiver. And the running backs, like I said, I expect to see a lot of shuffling. Because, I think you still got to be careful with Christian McCaffrey. You got to mix up the carries. We got some good talent there. Bringing in Deontay Foreman was a big boost. I think McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Foreman, it's a good 1-2-3 punch. And then, like I said, the O-line. We should have a beefed up O-line. So these ESPN depth charts are not very accurate until camp starts, as they go by last year's starting players when they don't know who else to place, which is true. That's a fair point. Brock Morgan, what's up? Welcome to the stream. On defense is kind of intriguing. Brian Burns, YGM, Bravion Roy, and Matt Ioannidis in the middle. Wow. So Derek Brown in the rotation, which that ought to be an interesting rotation. Although, Derek Brown, Phil Hoskins, I expect to see more Phil Hoskins, hopefully, in the rotation. Davion Nixon, maybe, hopefully. I expect that D-line to really get creative in the rotations. I mean, Marquise Hayes Sr., we brought him back. I thought he was a good role player. Hey, fam. Hey, good to see you. So they had Damian Wilson at middle linebacker. But that's most likely probably going to change. They had Shaq Thompson and Corey Littleton on the outsides. Dante and J.C. Horn. Yeah, definitely Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn are going to be the two heads at cornerback for sure. And like I said, if I could name one player that I'm really excited about for a comeback is J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn, he's been working out. There's been a lot of film on him this offseason with him working out, getting back into playing shape. I cannot wait to see the return of J.C. Horn. I think he's going to blow up into a pure shutdown corner. So I can't wait for J.C. Horn's return. But J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, those are our two top guys. Throw in C.J. Henderson. Hopefully C.J. Henderson can keep building up. Keith Taylor as well. I think we brought back a Miles Hartsfield. And then safety, I mean, Jeremy Chin, Xavier Woods, Justin Burris, Kenny Robinson. We still got Rashawn Melvin as well. So a couple of names. Brock says, should we bring Star back is he still available? Oh, Star Latulele? I wouldn't be against bringing him back. Be another good run stopper. And we struggled on stopping the run. I would love to have Star back. I thought Star was great. I would love to have Star back. Star Latulele? Sure, absolutely. Paul says, I see Deontay Foreman as running back number 2 behind CMC, and then Chuba Hubbard as 3 to spell CMC. And we may see CMC as a slot receiver on occasion, and especially if Terrace Marshall doesn't make that step this summer. Yeah, that's a good breakdown. That's a good breakdown. I would love to see him at slot as well. Paul says defense has some young players who will be riled up. YGM, J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor. Need Derek Brown and Jeremy Chin to improve in year number 3. Especially Derek Brown. That's going to be another name to keep an eye on. Derek Brown, for sure. And I also think it's about time we need to start seeing C.J. Henderson break out. Henderson's been there for a little while. I think we need to start seeing him break out. So hopefully C.J. Henderson will break out as well. We got a very young defense. Because I think on the secondary, I think Rashawn Melvin's the oldest person on that secondary. So, oh yeah. Remember, we also picked up Chris Westry. We picked up Chris Westry as well. So that's more depth in the secondary. We did pick him up. I could see Frankie Louvu getting more starting opportunity. I could see him getting more snaps, Frankie Louvu, for sure. Brock Morgan says, Deontay Foreman is good in Tennessee backing up Derrick Henry. Facts. That is true. Very, very true. Special teams, I think, were almost set. I mean, we got a new punter, Johnny Hecker. We got our kicker and Zane Gonzalez. Very, very consistent for Carolina. For return specialists, that's going to be tough. Because I was thinking Shi Smith, but we might not have Shi Smith. I don't know. Who do y'all think could be our returners for punts and kickoffs? Because we don't have Amir Abdullah anymore. Oh, I think CJ Saunders. I think CJ Saunders could be a return specialist, maybe either at punt or kickoff. Maybe. Well, I don't know. That's really the only name I could think of. Paul says, I'm not sold on CJ Henderson at all and expect Chris Westry to win that slot cornerback position. Oh, okay. So you think he'll land in that position over CJ Henderson? And if we want to get technical, we still have Troy Pride Jr., which I don't really know if I could see him bouncing back, to be honest. Paul says, wide receiver Higgins and Zylstra may be the return guys with CJ Saunders. Oh, so you could see Higgins and Zylstra? Fair enough. I definitely don't think DJ Moore should be on that list. Even though he says he would be cool with it, I don't want DJ Moore on that list. But yeah, but I definitely think CJ Saunders should be on that list. So, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting as we get our draft picks in to see how this starting lineup looks. Higgins on kickoffs, Zylstra on punts, Shi Smith as a gunner. Oh, so you'd go with a combo of Higgins and CJ Saunders on kickoffs, Zylstra on punt. Has Zylstra ever returned punts? I don't think he's returned punts. But I guess you could always learn. Brock Morgan says, I want to get Jalen Weidermeyer from Texas A&M to boost our ends late in the draft. He was Mon's go-to end. That he would be intriguing. He would be intriguing. What do they have him going in? Well, that would be an intriguing idea. That would be an intriguing idea. Zylstra was the punt returner the last few weeks. Wait, he was? Wow, I don't know how I missed that. I thought it was still Alex Erickson, but okay. Dang, I did not even realize that. I thought Mr. Fair Catch Alex Erickson was still punt returning at the time. Dang, I don't know how I missed that. Do we even still have Alex Erickson? I don't think we do. Yeah, I don't think we do. But yeah, this is Alex. Oh, after Erickson was hurt the last few games. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what this depth chart looks like. But I hope they definitely have some ideas in mind, just depending on what happens with Ian Thomas, Shi Smith, and Damian Wilson. I hope they have a backup plan of some sort. Brock Morgan says he is dropping because of speed issues, but he's an excellent route runner and can high point the ball in the red zone, which would be very much needed. I mean, we did struggle. I mean, we still struggle to this day with red zone offense and defense when you think about it. That was definitely something we struggled with. Red zone. Still a lot of folks in free agency available. Still a whole lot. I mean, but yeah, I think we'll definitely be able to score another wide receiver. And another name to keep an eye out for, Ndamukong Suh still hasn't signed a new deal with Tampa Bay. And also talk about linebacker. Maybe they should consider looking at Dante Hightower. Maybe Dante Hightower. But still a lot to choose from there. Paul says Thomas will be okay and probably get a 1-game suspension. Yeah, I don't see Thomas getting a lot of games suspended. If it's even like 3, that's probably a little excessive. But yeah, he'll probably get some sort of small fine and maybe a game or 2 suspension. I agree with you. Wilson and Shi Smith could be released or possibly receive 3-4 game suspensions by the NFL. Yeah. But something tells me they're gonna be released, or at least one of the 2 will be released. Just think, Greg Olsen 3.0. Oh man, Mr. Reliable. I miss Mr. Reliable. I really do. I really miss Mr. Reliable. Is linebacker Keith Van Noy still out there in free agency? I don't think so, actually. I want to say that the Cowboys picked him up. Hold up. Let's see. I want to say he's. Wait a minute. Let me look him up. Kyle Van Noy. Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, as far as I know, he's still available. Kyle Van Noy, he's available. The Patriots released him. Hey, Ernest Capu, good to see you. NFL schedule release May 12th. Yes, 2 weeks after the draft. But yeah, it looks like Cal Van Noy is available. Yeah, good looking out. Let me update this. Yeah, Kyle Van Noy is still available. Indeed. I still wouldn't mind somebody like a Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, AJ Klein. I wouldn't mind some names like that. But I'm kind of interested. Let me just see wide receiver. Julio Jones. Oh man, Julio Jones is still available. I guess Jarvis Landry, T.Y. Hilton, Cole Measley Beasley is still available. Wait, the Rams still haven't gotten a new deal for Odell Beckham Jr.? Wow, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Do you know about Agil Glass from Alabama A&M? He was a quarterback number 1 and the star of his conference. He is expected to go to UDFA. I'm not familiar with him. Interesting though. Alabama A&M. Nice. Interesting. Who knows? Yeah, with what Paul said, could get drafted in the fifth or sixth round. There's a lot of good tight ends in this draft, all the way to the 5th round. Kolar, Autun, Lightly, Windermeyer, the kids from Virginia, Michigan State, and Maryland look good. Look good too. Yeah, agreed. And likely for tight end number 1. Yeah, that much is true. I think Derek Deese Jr. was another one that was kind of potential. Oh yeah, Brock. I know. Undrafted free agent. Yeah, I know. Free agent wide receivers. I mean, for free agent wide receivers, I mean, there's not really a lot of names that stick out to me. I mean, Julio Jones, I mean, he's kind of, my main thing with him is health. I mean, Cole Beasley, it's an intriguing idea. Tavon Austin, that'd be kind of nice. I like Glass's type more than Malik Willis' big arm size and athletic, and a 3-year start, I believe, at Texas A&M. 6'4". Woo! That's big. That's big. That's a big boy. But yeah, like I really can't wait. I can't wait till the draft, y'all. I cannot wait for the draft. Odell Beckham Jr. has a bad injury and they don't need him. Although he did contribute quite a bit in that Super Bowl game before he got hurt. I will say that. I see a team like the Packers, Eagles, Steelers, Ravens taking Glass by the 5th round to groom for a year or 2. Yeah? That's not a bad prediction. That is not a bad prediction at all. Do know that OBJ tore his knee and won't be ready to about November, so no team is in a rush to sign him now. Oh yeah, wasn't it an ACL? Was it an ACL? Oh geez, yeah. Yeah, he gonna be out for a while. Yeah, he gonna be out for a while. For a while. That's a good point. Yeah, he gonna be out for a while. But oh man, I can't wait, y'all. I look very forward to the draft, and I am so excited. And I got next Friday off too, so I can really sit down and enjoy the draft, not have to worry about staying up too late and whatnot. OBJ tore ACL in February in the Super Bowl. Had a good 7-8 months, and it's October. Okay, so it was a torn ACL. Okay, that was my question. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, I was like, yeah, because I remember because on the series before he scored a touchdown, but yeah, so he's gonna be yeah, it's gonna take time, but yeah, this coming Thursday, y'all. So let me reiterate the plan. Like I said, me and Mr. Carolina plan on doing a live reaction stream for the first round. Um, and like I said, it'll be here on YouTube. I'm also going to live stream it via YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So for those of y'all that are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or if you have friends, don't forget to share the information. But yeah, look forward to that this coming Thursday evening. I'll probably try to. I'll probably have it start around 7ish, maybe 7:30. Just I got to sync up with Mr. Carolina, and then we can get that finalized. But Lord willing, we're gonna have a fun time on the live stream, the reaction. We're gonna have a fun time. Definitely get the word out, and everybody here is invited. And you know what? We're gonna react together. We're gonna react together. We're gonna let it all out, and we're gonna react together. And hopefully the Panthers can have a somewhat of a good draft. It's gonna be difficult. We're in a tough position, but they can make some good decisions. It'll be a good start. It'll be a good start. Paul says, I sure hope the Panthers trade back to get 2 to 3 picks in the top 125 for doing so. Me too. Me too. I really hope they trade back. I really, really do. Brock Morgan says, I'm just glad he got his Super Bowl win. Oh, yeah, Odell. For sure. For sure. Let's reach out to one Carolina John and have him on your show live. Uh does he have a YouTube page? Does he have a YouTube? If so, link it if you can. Link it in this chat. Or if you have, information, whatever information. Have a good evening, and Sunday we'll check in on draft night. Yes, Paul. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for coming by and chatting it up. Look forward to it. But one Carolina John. I've never heard of him. I've never heard of him. One Carolina John. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Media Rare. Hi. Ah, what the heck? But yeah, whenever you get a chance, just comment or whatever info. If he has a YouTube or link or whatnot, I'll definitely check him out. See if I can reach out. But yeah, that will. Adam Shepard said the Panthers are shopping to trade down. Good. They need to. They definitely need to. They better do that. But Paul says, I have a prepared mock to post, which will be meaningless after the first trade is done. Maybe. But, I mean, wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. But yeah, that'll do it for tonight's stream. Wow. Almost streamed for 4 hours. Wow. Y'all have been incredible. Thank y'all so much for coming through and chatting it up with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this content. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and slap that notification bell so you keep up every time I release a video or go live. But anyway, draft is right around the corner, y'all. Let's keep our heads up, stay positive, keep pounding no matter what. We'll see what happens between now and the draft. It's exciting. But this has been another Carolina Panthers Talk episode here for you on the U to the Tube, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of this weekend, and I will see y'all very soon. Oh, one last comment. Paul Mancini says, lots of teams are looking to trade down from the top 10. Lions, Texans, Panthers, Giants at number 7, and Jets at number 10, which again tells everyone what the league thinks of this quarterback class. Yeah, that definitely says something. It'll be interesting to see which specific offers that end up happening. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I look forward to it. I definitely look forward to it. But anyway, that'll do it. I'm Jason Ingram, the Blitzball Champ, your host. I will catch y'all next time. Keep an eye out. Love y'all. Stay safe. Stay blessed. I'm out. Peace.